I'm so glad to talk to a real person. Do you take news tips, or can you tell me anything about news?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Now, you get the RCMP press releases recently,
Yes.
right? Okay. You've got the last three in the last 3 4 days, right? Do you get them
Yeah.
daily normally?
Yeah. Yeah. Whenever the police send them out, we do.
Okay. So when the police deploy weapons, there is usually, normally, a news release referring to the deployment of a, like, taser, for instance.
Right.
Yeah, because I know that's true, right? So,
Yep.
the other day in my town here of FILLMORE, Saskatchewan, the police deployed a tasered a man. Did,
In Fillmore.
yeah, in Fillmore, Saskatchewan, it was Thursday. I'm pretty sure it was Thursday morning at about noon. Did you get the press release?
Thursday morning at noon. Let's see. Um,
It was right around noon or 1 p.m.
I know I've seen. I'm not 100% sure. I don't recall seeing anything.
Darn it.
Um,
See, because I'm an independent journalist. I'm a police reporter, basically. And
oh, okay.
I report on incidents in the police, good or bad, both sides. I support the police 100%. True and just causes are, valid, right?
Mm.
So I do support the police 100%, but I do not support police wrongdoings, and and I think it is a requirement of the police to release information as a certainty towards deployment of weapons, and tasers are a weapon. So I'm pretty sure that it should have been issued as a press release, right?
Yeah, see, I'm not. I know Regina police send us every single time their taser's used or
Yeah.
our gun is used, etc. I know we get those releases. I can't recall if it's the same with RCMP.
Well, I'm pretty sure it is, because I've heard, like, I mean, I didn't see it in paper, but it's been told to me even by the RCMP, even by, actually, Tony Garine told me that. I don't know if you know who Tony Garine is. Deputy
No,
assistant,
I don't.
he's the deputy assistant attorney for the Saskatchewan Justice. He's the deputy assistant attorney. So he even told me that they require to have a press release by the RCMP on deployment of weapons. And so I'm just wondering why that there was no press release on the deployment of weapons, i.e. the taser, on that day, because like several witnesses saw this, etc. And I'm wondering why that was withheld.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm just trying to scan through my past RCMP releases, but I'm not seeing anything.
Do you know anyone, or pardon me, do you know anyone who is just a normal crime reporter? Like you see, there is a big issue here that's being covered up, and I don't know how much detail to get into with you about this, but there's kind of a cover up going on here, and it has to do with violation of civil rights violations.
In terms of related to weapons?
In terms of the RCMP, seem to operate at a different ideal. They seem to have a different requirement for the release of information, and see, the Public Complaints Commission does not work. It doesn't work at all. It's for the RCMP, period.
So they kind of cherry pick what they release.
Yes, you got it. That's more succinct. So I'm trying to muddle my way through this situation, and I have found quite a conspiracy going on here, and people would call it to use that word, conspiracy. But there is a very definite wrongdoing going on by the Public Complaints Commission. They don't represent the public at all, and in fact, when you complain to the RCMP about an officer, they seem to really become very malicious to the complainant. Now, my experience is been very negative with the Public Complaints Commission. I really need someone to draw attention to this. I'm going to have a protest on November 1st at the Scar Street, that Hill building, at the Saskatchewan Justice headquarters, 300 block, 1700 block Scar Street, and the provincial courthouse at 1715 Smith Street on November 1st. I'm trying to garner support for public awareness that the Public Complaints Commission does not include the public in any of they really are slighted against people that complain. My experience has been
Sorry, go ahead.
Not good. I complained about the police, and the police have done nasty, nasty things to me, and it seems like they do this to everyone.
Who has a complaint?
Yeah, anyone that complains about the police, it seems to get really worse. You might check my YouTube channel, Dale Lakeman. Now, I've been harassed by the police for 9 years now. And I was on global television a couple times, actually, and on CKCK and CBC about the police harassing me. It's getting worse.
Really?
And it's terribly getting worse. And the problem is that they all just say, if you can get a lawyer, and the problem is I don't have the money to buy a lawyer. But I'm going to definitely try to make every inquiry that I possibly can and make awareness of how the police are abusing the Complaints Commission.
Have you spoken with people, obviously, or talked to people?
Man, I talked to Tony Garine. I've talked to, like, he is an assistant deputy attorney, and he even agreed with me. You can see on my YouTube channel. I have quite a few interviews that I've done with public officials that they tend to agree, but then they tend to only accept just that degree of responsibility that they have a double talk that that covers everything. Like they know how to use the words to get away with what they're getting away with. They know how to manipulate the system against people so well, and it's a travesty.
And where is? Sorry, I'm not.
FILLMORE.
Where's FILLMORE?
FILLMORE is on 33 Highway southeast towards where Carlisle and Stoughton. You go out the east side of Regina there by the new bypass and just keep going down 33 Highway. I've lived here for 9 years and been harassed by an RCMP officer for 9 years. And go ahead.
I was just going to say, does it seem to be kind of concentrated to FILLMORE, or just other RCMP detachments?
It seems to be a personal issue, and I think RCMP officers sometimes take things personally. And then, of course, the Blue Shield. And if one officer would admit that another, and because we know historically that RCMP operations are tainted by bullies, we know that because the government even admits that. And so this bully officer has been bullying me, myself, and several other people, but they're afraid to come forward. They are afraid to even give their names. I've gotten anonymous messages. I've gotten people say so-and-so says this, but they won't give their ID, and because they're afraid of the police, because this officer has got so many family members, so many friends, that it's just like, man, I'm dealing with mob rule here. Now,
that's crazy. I
was attacked by my neighbors 3 times. I tried to phone the police every time, and the police have just turned it around on me because, I don't have a real legal way to defend myself because I don't have the cash to provide for legal defense counsel, right? And so we know, and we know that the public legal aid does not deal with any civil matters or civic complaints. So when I complain to the RCMP Public Complaints Commission, there's no representation for a member of the public. And they ask you, they say, do you have a lawyer? And you say no. And then you can look at my YouTube channel. It's a daily occurrence that the RCMP harass me on a daily occurrence. They've really destroyed my life, totally. And I know from past experiences and from other people telling me this, that their family members have been abused in this manner by RCMP. And then there's been a couple instances in Saskatchewan where the RCMP have attended people's houses and then actually killed them. But there's no evidence. And then the member will say, well, that guy was reacting negative to me and I felt threatened, so I had to taser him and then I had to shoot him. This happens lots. Or else, a lot of times, a victim of RCMP bullying will just commit suicide. You know, be it when the RCMP members, they've come to my house several times and tried to get me to react to them in a negative way. Coming into my yard doing illegal registration checks, bullying me on the street, threatening me with criminal harassment, etc. And an officer does not threaten. An officer lays a charge if he has evidence to lay a charge. An officer will not come to you and say, I'm threatening, or I'm investigating you, or I'm doing this to you, or I'm doing that. All that is just threats to get you to leave the complaint system behind and to shut up. They try to stifle you by making threats of that